Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching MaxSpeedTV. Tonight on tap, the Salt Flat Racing the IROC Series back in action here from Las Vegas. They made it to the desert. They went from the sandy beaches from Daytona Beach, Florida, all the way out here to dancing in the desert here. I'm Roger Muth. I will be your host here in the booth. I have a driver perspective with me tonight. Bobby Johnson not able to make the call here tonight, but we got Tony Quadros up here in the booth. He's going to bring you a driver perspective throughout the race. Tony, how you doing tonight?
Doing great, Roger. I really appreciate you having me here and happy to be here.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure to have you up here in the booth. Like I said, we made it here to the desert. This is one of those tracks, you know, last week we saw these guys dancing out here from the high banks from Daytona. This week it's going to be a little bit different. It's still going to be packed racing here, as that's what we pretty much get every time we line these street stocks up here when we take them off the short tracks. And you're about to see something that you normally don't see. People see street stocks, they think short track racing at its best, door-to-door, bumper-to-bumper, beating and banging all the way through the short tracks, the mile-and-a-half tracks. Well, not this week. A 2-mile track here from Las Vegas is going to be the same exact style racing that you would think you'd see at the short tracks, and it's going to be one exciting race. As you see on track, you notice all these guys out here practicing right now. You see those wonderful colors. That's right, the title itself, Salt Flat Racing, the IROC Series. Anybody old enough to remember back to the late 90s, the early 2000s, and actually it goes even back into the early 1990s. The International Race of Champions, drivers from all over the series coming out here to compete against each other to see who is the best in the same style vehicle. Just throw a different color scheme on the car and go out there. That's how you're going to be able to tell guys apart here tonight. You also notice a couple guys out there running the same exact colors. That's going to indicate to you that those guys are teammates. So you're going to have to see teammates working together tonight. Like I said, you will see packed racing here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But Tony, a little segment that we like to do over here with the Salt Flat Racing guys. It's something called Get to Know Your Salt Flat Drivers. And tonight in the booth we have the number 09 of JP Brennan. JP Brennan, one of these new guys out here with the Salt Flat Racing League. There you see him out there sitting on the end of pit road here for us. JP is one of the new drivers out here. Born in Boston, Massachusetts, currently residing in the Virginia area. We gotta welcome JP to the booth. JP, welcome.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We are doing great up here in the booth, JP. So JP, you're a rookie. You got an R right alongside your name. Tell us how you actually found the Salt Flat Racing League.
I follow it's like a league page on Facebook, and you had actually made a post about, you know, you guys are getting ready to start up a new season, and I wanted to run a league and figured why not.
Talking about leagues, I believe actually you and I had a conversation. I believe you're a rookie to these things called leagues. I think this is your first league you've ever been a part of, right?
Yeah, I'd actually just picked up iRacing about midway through the summer.
So midway through the summer, you have picked up iRacing for the first time. Tell us your experience so far on iRacing, or how'd you get into iRacing?
I got into iRacing technically when I was about 10. My friend had it, and it was a lot more competitive than the console games and stuff that I was used to. So I figured now that I had a job, then I'd pick it up and see what's up.
Talking about console games, what can you compare iRacing to, or is there nothing out there in the console market that comes even close? We might be having some technical difficulties with your mic there, JP.
I think the closest you could probably get to is maybe Project Cars when it comes to road course racing, but as far as the competitive side of it, there's not really anything there.
Not really anything there. JP, now you joined a league here called Salt Flat Racing, the IROC Series. Are you old enough to quite remember the late 90s, the early 2000s IROC Series of Champions?
I don't remember anything watching it wise or anything like that. I was born in 2000, so I was kind of at the end of all that.
At the end of all that. Well, then, we're going to ask you the question. What do you think about a series like this? Obviously, we know you're out here as a rookie and you're contending, and last week had a great finish from Daytona coming home inside your top 5. But what do you think about a league that runs, you know, fixed setups with similar paint schemes on a larger track setting?
It's definitely different. Normally you get the guys who will follow like the schedules of the real life divisions and all that stuff, so it's different for sure.
Different for sure. And we got to ask you, JP, what's with the color on the car? Because these guys do get to pick their own colors. Obviously, you're a rookie, so last week you had to run the gray color, and this week you have new colors on the car.
Yeah, my girlfriend was actually in the room when I got the message to pick a color, and she was looking at them, and she's like, "Hey, that's my favorite color, so you run that." So picked it based on her.
So you picked it based on her. It's not a bad color. It looks good on you, JP. We got your picture up on screen. Everybody's staring at the face with the color, so they're able to match your color with that face now, and you're going to be known as the guy driving the lavender car out there from now on.
Sounds good to me.
And if you win, JP, you know you got to give the credit to the girlfriend.
That's the plan.
Well, that is the plan. But JP, tell us a little bit about yourself here. We did state that you were from the Boston, Massachusetts area born. What prompted you to move to the Virginia area?
My dad's actually in the Coast Guard, so every 4 years we'll move to a new area. We went back and forth between New England and Michigan for a bit, and then Dad got the orders to come down to Yorktown, Virginia, and he's gonna retire down here, so we're gonna probably stay down here for a while.
Well, we know you're not the one who served in the Coast Guard or is serving, but we're still going to give you a thanks to Mr. Brennan for serving and doing what he does. Well, JP, we're going to give you a moment here, and just pretty much give any shout-outs that you have to. The mic is yours, my friend.
Yeah, definitely my family, friends, girlfriend, and anybody watching right now. Hopefully we can put on a good show tonight like we did last week.
Well, JP, you're sitting right now 24th on the board, so you're gonna have some time to make up there as you got I think there's about 34 drivers out here tonight. So good luck, and maybe we'll get to talk to you again at the end of this one.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, once again, thanks, JP, for joining us here in the booth for the section of Get to Know Your Salt Flat Racing Drivers. That was the 09 in the Lavender Machine, JP Brennan, one of the rookies out here last week, finishing inside your top 5. A great showing for being a rookie out here. You wouldn't have known the way he was driving out there, because he was one of those guys that you could have pretty much thought was a veteran out there. Talking about veteran guys out there, Cody Levitt right now finds himself on the pole, or having the number 1 position with his teammate of Cole Day and Skylar Lewis, another rookie, right there in your 3rd position. Robert Duvendak's 4th on the speed charts right now with Craig Schwartz right there. Talking about last week, let's get to your Salt Flat Racing IROC point standings. Timmy Smith making a 5-wide pass on the backstretch from Daytona and walking out of Daytona with the points lead. Robert Duvendak in 2nd, only 5 points back. Doug Ungari is 3rd. JP Brennan is 4th. Troy Lent 5th in points. Willie Evernham finds himself there in 6th. Danny Valenzuela is 7th in points. Greg O'Barry is 8th. Jamie Leach 9th. Donald Bennett is 10th. Jeff Bergner 11th in points. Josiah Millen 12th. Cody Levitt is 13th. Jason Dobbs is 14th. Chris Brown is 15th. Hunter Conley 16th. Chris Legou finds himself in the 17th position. Kerry Chim 18th. Timmy Valenzuela 19th. And Jay Steffi is going to round out your top 20 in the point standings after week 1. That was Daytona, and Tony, you know just as much as anybody, Daytona is pretty much a, roll the dice and see what happens.
It really is, and it's extremely impressive what JP did there. Top 5, a rookie, really young guy. He has a pretty good iRacing career ahead of him, there's no doubt.
Absolutely. Well, while we've got about 3 minutes here, let's take a look here at the pre-race. And the air temp here from Las Vegas is a little tricky if you're looking. Air temp is 65, track temp is 88. I don't think you're ever going to see an air temp in the desert in the middle of the daytime in the summertime at 65 degrees. Track temp is pretty cool right now, but we're going to expect that to rise once we get to race conditions and these guys all out there on track. 75 laps we're going to do around Las Vegas. That equals out to 113 miles. Tire window, I heard from a lot of these drivers, tires aren't going to matter all that much. But your fuel strategy is what's really going to come into play here. As it looks like fuel strategy we have written between 25 and 28 laps. If you're sitting in the draft, you might be able to hit 29 laps. Pit road speed here from Las Vegas, though, is going to be 50 miles an hour. We're going to have to see if green flag pit stops are going to work their way in here tonight. That's your pre-race here from Las Vegas for tonight. In just under 2 minutes and 30 seconds here, we're going to get to qualifying for the Salt Flat Racing, the IROC Series. And also here tonight on the Max Speed YouTube, you can find yourself watching Racing for a Cause, the K&N Series. That's broadcasted by KR Stolfus himself. Tomorrow night here on Max Speed TV, though, we got the USRA, the XRS, the Xfinity guys are out there running. 2 races left in their schedule. They're going to go battle it out at the Talladega Super Speedway. Always throw a monkey wrench in there. Why not run Talladega as your second to last race of the season? And then also tomorrow night, you can also find myself back in action with KR Stolfus and Kelly Dahl, broadcasting the Upstate Racing, the Pro Late Models Series. If I'm correct, I believe we are at South Boston. So another short track on the schedule for the Upstate Racing guys. But we're going to take a break here for a moment as we got about 1 minute and 40 seconds left here in practice. We're going to play your national anthem. Tony and I will be right back here to bring you qualifying live and bring you all the race action here from Las Vegas on Max Speed TV.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Qualifying has just begun. Only a couple drivers out on track getting up to speed right now. Doug Ungari, one of last week's surprise finishers. Doug Ungari finished 3rd last week from Talladega. He was one of those guys that was sitting further back there on the last lap, and the seas just kind of parted coming down the backstretch, and Doug Ungari snuck in there going door to door with JP Brennan. They finished, pretty much identical at the line. It was a great finish. Anybody who missed last week's race from Daytona should definitely go back over here on the Max Speed TV YouTube page and look up the Salt Flat race from last week. There was not a moment in that race that was boring. There was excitement all over the track for 50 laps. Just great battling. That's what these guys put on here with the Salt Flat Racing League. And Doug Ungari, as you see, he is another rookie. So rookies plentifully here throughout the through this league. Nobody has put in times yet. Doug Ungari is going to come through turns 3 and 4. You saw him running a little bit of a higher line. You're going to expect to see a lot of guys run the high line on their first lap and then really bury it down there to the inside. Another driver who's out there on track. Let's see if we can find him for you guys. The O2 of Craig Schwartz making his debut, last year's champion, the Ginger himself, the man who runs out at Eldora Speedway on a weekly basis in a street stock, finds himself, though, out here on the asphalt, and last year put 6 wins together for him, and he walked away being the champion for Season 1 here. Back in action, though, as last week he was missing. He had to take provisional points for the league as he was he was down watching the Chili Bowl in Oklahoma, so now he's back along with his teammate of Cold Day, who has yet to turn a lap yet, but he'll be out there. So 2 teammates back in action here tonight. As I just saw new guys. Oh, I was just about to call out Jeff Pogo going to the top of the leaderboards, but Craig Schwartz goes out there and puts down a blistering 38.829. So Craig Schwartz now to the top of the leaderboards.
Yeah, you know, Roger, you see these dirt guys come over to asphalt, and they have a tremendous amount of success. You know, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, there's quite a few dirt guys over here, as actually one of them just went straight to the top of the boards. Timothy Smith out here driving for the Wicked Cushion team. He put the 000s up on the pole with just 1 lap, and he's going to call it quits there. He's going to take her back to the garage and just get ready for this. Jeff Pogo out there had a great qualifying attempt. Chris Brown was out here. He still is. Actually, I think he's got to make some pit runs here. Let's see who else is out here on track. JP Brennan, the driver to watch here tonight. The driver spotlight finds himself 19th on the board after 1 lap. Let's see. Let's follow JP around here as we got about 1 minute and 50 seconds left in qualifying. 21 drivers out of the 35 have made an attempt here. You see JP really sticking down towards the bottom of the white line there.
Yeah, you know, Roger, it's so hard qualifying to try to find speed, right? Because every 100th matters, and, you know, just running a slightly different line can pick you up just the amount to get you out front.
Yeah, every little bit matters. Every 100th of a second, every 1,000th of a second. Let's see as JP ducks there below the white line coming through the tri-oval. He's going to go to 16th on the board, so a little bit quicker for JP right now. Another guy who we were talking about, you know, one of those real-life drivers in real life. Here's the 21 of Jeff Bergner. Jeff Bergner runs out there in the Utah, Nevada, and the California. He runs asphalt sprint cars, and now he finds himself running a street stock. As you see, he's part of the Salt Flat County Jail program. I guess you want to say it's just one of those driver release programs. They get to come out here and mess around on iRacing.
Yeah, that's one thing that's great about iRacing, Roger. You have drivers from all across the country, do all different types of real racing, and they can come together and race together in iRacing. It's awesome.
Absolutely awesome, as Jeff Bergner goes 7th on the board right now, so a good starting spot for last week's pole setter. It looks like Cody Levitt out here on track in the 38. He has 1 timed lap in. He goes 9th on the board. I don't think he'll get another one, as he's just going to shut her down. I think he won't be able to turn in another lap here. But 27 guys have taken the qualifying attempt here tonight. The likes of Jared Hagerdorn, Liam Sheen, Ed Hewitt, William Crossland, Rudy Cummings, Chris Legou, and Dwayne LaPrade have not put in any qualifying attempts, so they will start at the rear of this field tonight. With 1 second left, Cody Levitt not going to get that 2nd lap in. So let's see as these guys are going to start to grid up. It looks like we have quite a few drivers out there tonight, so it's going to be a great field for 75 laps here from Las Vegas. It's going to be a good one like always. Let's see if we can work through our qualifying grid here. Actually, it looks like somebody snuck in there right at the end of qualifying and we didn't get to see it, but your next level racing pole award and starting lineup are going to go to the number 12 of Robert Duvendak. 2nd place going to go to the 000s of Timothy Smith. 3rd fastest was going to go to the 02 of Craig Schwartz. His teammate of Cold Day going to start right alongside him in the 4th position. Starting in your 5th position, the 00 of Doug Ungari. Jamie Leach in the 88 is going to start 6th. 7th is going to go to the 21 of Jeff Bergner. The 023 of Troy Lentz going to start in your 8th position. 9th position is going to go to the 38 of Cody Levitt. The number 91 of Willie Evernham will round out your top 10.
And starting in the 11th position, starting a couple rookies here, Jeff Pogo. Then in the 12th position, you're looking at Skylar Lewis. And then starting 13th, you got Lloyd the Iceman Saunders. And then 13th, you have Chris Brown. Then starting 14th, you actually are 15th, excuse me, Jason Dobbs. Then coming in the 16th position, you have Mr. Danny Venezuela. Coming now in the 17th position, you have Hunter Conley. 18th, you have Tim Venezuela, another fellow rookie. 19th position, you have Jay Steffi. And then rounding out the top 20, you have JP Brennan, our gentleman to watch tonight.
Starting in your 21st position, the number 4 of Matt Grobelny. Starting right alongside him, the 62 of Colton Farrow. Starting in your 23rd position is going to be the 31 of Donald Bennett. Starting right alongside him is teammate Josiah Millen. Starting in the 25th position, the 54 of Orlando Rivera. Michael Whitaker in the 707 is going to start 26th. 27th is going to be the 77 of Kerry Chim. The 51 of Liam Sheen going to start in the 28th position. 29th is going to be the man himself, the 03 of Rudy Cummings. And starting in your 30th position, the 140 of Dwayne LaPrade. 31st position. I got it for you here, Tony. Starting in your 31st position, the triple twos there of Ed Hewitt. Jared Hagedorn in the number 2, going to start in your 32nd position. 33rd, going to go to the 71 of Chris Lagoo. The 97 of William Crossland back in action here tonight. After having some connection issues last week, he'll start 34th. And that's going to round out your next level racing starting grid as these guys are pacing down the backstretch for the first time. What are you expecting out here, Tony, real quick?
Yeah, I think it's all strategy, right? It's a long race, 75 laps. I think there's going to be a lot of give and take, and then towards the end, they're going to really get into it.
Absolutely, as we're waiting on the pace card here to duck off the track so we can turn these guys loose here from Las Vegas. Just waiting on the Porsche to make its sharp left-hand turn, and then the field's going to be in the hands of the number 12 of Robert Duvendak with the triple zeros of Timmy Smith to his outside. There goes the pace car. Now we're just waiting for the flagman. As you see all those beautiful colors coming down here, and the green flag is waving for the first time here from Las Vegas. The Salt Flat Racing, the IROC series is now underway. As they head down into turn number 1, you can see everybody still 2 by 2 as far as you can see. Colorful. It looks like the rainbow's coming down here. It looks like a bunch of Skittles out there on track. Robert Duvendak, though, having a little bit of an edge right now over the the triple zeros of Timmy Smith as they work down the backstretch for the first time.
Yeah, it looks like that 02 car is really, really getting into the 12 and really looking to get ahead of the pack together.
Yeah, those are 2 drivers, actually 3 drivers lined up on the inside that are really used to working with each other. Robert Duvendak, Craig Schwartz, and Doug Ongari on the inside. Now Cole Day's going to jump down there. So that's going to make a 4-car train of guys who are really used to working together. And then Timmy Smith being the odd man out there, last week's winner there on the outside. He's just trying to find a home right now, trying to find a dancing partner, and he might be able to find one momentarily. The 88 of Jamie Leach is going to be able to work up there. Right now, Jamie's kind of stuck in limbo, not going forward, not going backwards, just going to slot in line now behind the 21 of Jeff Bergner.
Yeah, it looks like that 000's trying to find his way to the bottom, but it gets so difficult, Roger, when you're up there at top on these big tracks.
Yeah, especially, I mean, these may be street stocks. They may be only running about 145 miles an hour down the straightaways here with no draft, maybe 150 miles an hour if you're lucky. Oh, there goes, it looks like the 02 of Craig Schwartz going down through the infield there. Not sure what exactly happened with Craig Schwartz, but he's going to lose a lot of positions as he's still sitting on that infield grass there. Now he gets it turned around. He's going to come back out on track, but he's going to be in your 33rd position. He's got a long way to make up to get back to the front here. Robert Duvendak, though, still leading the way.
Oh, boy, Craigie, ain't Dirt going to get back out there in the asphalt, buddy.
So out front, though, Robert Duvendak going to lead him back here to the stripe. He's led 2 laps so far. Robert Duvendak leads another lap, put 3 laps under the belt for the number 12. He did this last week. He led a bunch of laps in the early goings, and then late in the run just found himself trapped there 5 wide on the last lap, unable to make it happen as Tim Smith made a 5 wide pass and went right around him. And Robert Duvendak still out front.
Yeah, it looks like Tim got back down there in the bottom lane where he's more comfortable, which is great.
That's going to put Jamie Leach now, though, on the outside, trying to make the outside work, and he's got Doug Ongari, another one of those tandems we said, you know, these guys race a lot together. As there goes somebody through the grass, not sure who that exactly was. I think that might have been Timmy Valenzuela, or actually that was J.P. Brennan, our spotlight driver to watch. I actually think he might have had a little bit of connection issue as he's on pit road park, so he might have had to take a quick tow. Out front still going to be Robert Duvendak. Cole Day is tucked up right underneath him. That's that purple car to the inside, the second car on the inside lane. So good racing so far here from Las Vegas with the IROC series. Working lap number 5 here, a 75 if we get to it. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, pit road, or your fuel run, is about 25 to 28 laps, and so far with the driving we see, Doug Ongari all over the back bumper of the 88 of Jamie Leach.
It looks like Robert's taking him right below the apron there at the start-finish line.
And that's one of those things that these guys are able to do. You are allowed to go down below the white line. But remember, if you go down below the white line, you are responsible for yourself to come back up. Ooh, a big wiggle off the front bumper of the 37. Robert Duvendak really having to hold on to it. But if you go below the white line, you are responsible to get on the track in a safe manner and not cause an issue for any of the drivers that are on the racing surface. So if you see somebody duck down there below the white line, say that Tim Smith would right now go to the outside of Robert Duvendak, who will lead another lap here, it would be Robert's responsibility to get back up on track. Tim Smith would not have to let him come back up on track. So I mean,
it really is a gamble, Roger.
Not sure who that was that got turned around there in turn 1, as it looks like Skylar Lewis also involved. Not sure. I think Jeff Pogo, one of the other drivers that were involved, and I believe Timmy Valenzuela. Let's go back and take a MaxSpeedTV replay and see what happened between those drivers. Jeff Pogo was making his way towards the front, and it looks like maybe just fighting over position. Let's see what the replay shows. We didn't quite catch it. It looks like Jeff Pogo was the 4th car to the inside, laying there. It's one of those drivers for the Aguaholics. Looks like he was going to go to the outside here of Jeff Bergner. And it looks like, oh, maybe a little bit of net code involved there between the driver of the 24 and the 00 of Doug Ungari. Doug Ungari going around, and then it looks like, oh, looks like the number 3 there is Skylar Lewis, nowhere to go coming into that. And Rudy Cummings, the man himself, involved. Timmy Valenzuela also involved. So that's going to bring out our first caution here from Las Vegas, as Robert Duvendak is your leader right now. Cole Day is 2nd, Timmy Smith in 3rd. Jamie Leach finds himself 4th with Jeff Bergner in 5th. But we're about to see probably our first round of pit stops. A lot of these guys are going to come down and put 4 fresh tires on her, most likely. Fill her up with fuel and get back out there on track. Turning laps like we just saw. It's never a dull moment. Actually, it looks like Timmy Smith and the 88 of Jamie Leach going to stay out there on track.
Yeah, it looks like a few guys are going to go a little different strategy here, try to take advantage, get some track position. There's definitely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's early on. Timmy Smith might have just wanted to grab a lap lead here, because that will give him a bonus point for not only himself, but I believe that's going to give him a team bonus point. So he's going to take advantage of that real early. It looks like just a couple guys are going to stay out here. Timmy Smith, Jamie Leach, Willie Evernham, Hunter Conley, Matt Grobelny, Colton Farrow, and Danny Valenzuela going to stay out. That's going to leave a bunch of your other leaders down pit road. Robert Duvendak, there goes Rudy Cummings. He's rolling out. He had to tow. He was involved in that accident. So it looks like Robert will be your first car off pit road, and I believe Cole Day then will follow him off pit road. Jeff Bergner going to come off right behind him, and then it looks like the 38 of Cody Levitt. So a couple strategies here being played out right now. A couple guys staying out, 7 guys exact staying out there on track. The rest of them coming down pit road. You see a bunch of guys still sitting on pit road with a bunch of damage. It's early. These guys do have 2 quick repairs, so they will have the chance to get back out there, and they do give the lucky dog and the wave around, so they're not really in trouble. It's still early. Only 8 laps in the books, working lap number 9.
You know, Roger, I like that move by Timothy Smith, the rookie. You got to get the points where you can get them. You know, you're a rookie. You're new to the series. You got to lead a lap and get comfortable and take it from there.
You say rookie, but anybody who knows that driver of the 000s knows that he's not a rookie by any means. Timmy Smith, one of those drivers for the Wicked Cushion, also involved with the Casey Kane racing team. So he's one of those wily veterans, just unfortunately gets an R stuck next to his name for being the rookie here with the IROC series. So don't let him fool you with having an R. He knows exactly the kind of game that he's out there playing.
Oh boy.
So Jamie Lear, you find 2 quote-unquote rookies up here. Timmy Smith out front, Jamie Leach is 2nd, Willie Evernham 3rd, Hunter Conley's 4th, Matt Grobelny is in your 5th position, Colton Farrow 6th, Danny Valenzuela 7th, Robert Duvendak, your first guy who came down to take 4 fresh tires, he's in 8th place, Cole Day is in 9th, and Jeff Bergner rounds out your top 10 right now. So your points leader of Timmy Smith finds himself out front here early on from Las Vegas. So, Tony, we know you're new here in the booth, so once again, welcome to the booth. But now you just saw 9 laps here watching street stocks run on a unconventional track, if you will, for street stocks. What was the action that you saw here firsthand?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of drafting. You know, I've raced these cars at short tracks, not a lot of big tracks like this, but you know, you can tell people will bump in the center of the rear on the straightaways, but they'll let off on the corners. They don't want to cause an accident. But again, a lot of strategy and a lot of give and take early in the race.
Yeah, a lot of give and take is what you really have to do, because anybody that took notice there, we saw Robert Duvendak roll out of shape when we were green flag racing. And that's something that you got to remember. These are the street stocks. They're if anybody who knows cars, these are like the old second generation F-body Camaros. And that front end of these cars, it does have a point. They're not flat like your Xfinity cars or your trucks or your old K&N cars even. K&N cars have maybe a little bit of a rounded front end, but these street stocks have a point. And if you look at the back bumper, you realize they're a little bit higher than a normal rear bumper on a car. So get that pointed front end shoved up underneath one of these rear ends of these cars, and it can really, if you're not doing it the correct way, not doing it proper, you could really turn somebody real easy off the front end. And you kind of saw that when Craig Schwartz went there through the apron or through the grass of the front stretch. He was a little sideways and just a bump gone wrong.
Yeah, these cars, Roger, really aren't designed originally for drafting and for the large tracks, so it definitely makes it a little bit more difficult for the drivers. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, as we're back here, they're doubled up right now. A couple of guys catching the tail of the field. They came down to fill up the tanks. Anybody who's familiar with the IROC series here, it does come down to a lot of fuel strategy and how well you can save the fuel. As we're getting ready to go back green flag racing here on lap number 11. Pace car is in. Timmy Smith going to bring him down anytime Timmy Smith wants to let him loose, and there he goes. He's going to jump on the loud pedal really early. Timmy Smith going to jump out to the early lead there. He's got Willie Evernham on the inside lane, but Willie's going to go side by side with Jamie Leach there. They're going to battle it for the second position, and Hunter Conley right there in the 7 thought for a moment that he was going to go push it 3 wide. He decided to back off and just fall in line.
Yeah, Hunter was picking a lane there, I think. He hit a little indecisive, but he got it squared away on the inside, which is the right move.
Yeah, it's the right move. You see a lot of these guys now playing a little bit different strategy. You see a lot of them going single file, something that might happen here for a couple laps. But if I know these guys a little too well, they're just playing cat and mouse, because here comes Robert Duvendak to the outside here. He might go up there and push Jamie Leach on the outside lane and go straight back to the front. Those guys, I say everybody's, familiar with each other and runs with each other. That's because they run with each other. I mean, day in, day out, there's a practice lobby somewhere, and all these guys are out there turning laps. So everybody's pretty much familiar with each other.
Yeah, Roger, as a casual fan, it looks so easy, but it's really not. I mean, you get a run, and then you got to decide if you want to get out of the draft and try to take that run, if you want to lift and up hit the person in front of you. There's a lot going on in that car all the time around this track.
And right now going on in the car, it's Hunter Conley trying to make the outside work here with, it looks like, the number 4 Macro Belney. Who's going to lead at that time at the line? Give that one to Hunter Conley. Hunter Conley in the 7, going to come up here, take a point away, or take a point for himself, I guess you want to say. Throw it in the back pocket. That's what's going to come down at the end of the year. Oh, we got a caution out there on track. It looks like the 71 of Chris Legou is involved in this one. He is way off the pace, and he was up the track. That's going to bring out our second caution here on lap number 14. Let's go back on a MaxSpeedTV replay, see what happened with the driver of the 71 as he was running towards the 20th position in the field. Just going to go back here. As you see, it looks like he's on the outside there, right behind Dwayne LaPrade, right in front of little Jeff Pogo in the 24, as Jeff Pogo is trying to make his way back through the field. Let's see what happens here with the 71. Going down through the corner, Dwayne LaPrade goes high here. This looks like turns 3 and 4. Well, it looks like that's not the problem right there. Possibly down into turn number 1. We're going to have to continue to watch it here as Jeff Pogo really all over the back end of the 71, and it looks like, let's see as they go into turn 1 here. It looks like maybe Chris didn't know Jeff Pogo was to his inside, and it looks like Chris just got turned around and right into the wall. Let's see, maybe we can go back and find a little bit of a better angle here. Let's go above these two. As you see, there's the 2 cars to the inside there. Oh, a little contact, and then it looks like Jeff Pogo just comes right back up onto the track. That's one of those rules that we were just talking about. Just because you go below the white line doesn't mean somebody's got to let you up. And Chris spins it around. It doesn't really look like it's going to be that much damage on that number 71, as he'll be able to drive it away, and he'll tag the rear of the field. So unfortunately, we're going to bring out another yellow here, but I think both drivers that are involved in that will come out pretty much unscathed. They'll be all right.
Yeah, you know, keeping the car clean is so important to Roger because it's such an aerodynamic heavy track, right? Any damage at all can really slow you down.
Well, that's something that's really interesting once we get here to these larger tracks with these cars, as you can beat and bang these cars pretty well, and it's not going to really make that much of a difference. I mean, you're going to be able to crinkle up the fenders a little bit on these cars, and they're still going to drive fine. They're still going to draft pretty good. But, hey, you know what? Let's get a word in with the driver of the 71, Chris Legou. You got a copy. It's Tony and Roger up here in the booth.
Tony and Roger, how you doing?
Well, Chris, thanks. I thought for a moment you were going to stiff me here and not come up and talk to us, but we're doing probably a little bit better than you right now, as you were involved in that last yellow. Tell us what possibly transpired there coming through the tri-oval into turn 1.
Yeah, I heard at the last minute that somebody was on my inside. I didn't really see it well enough, to be honest with you, Roger. I was kind of looking out the front, not really out the mirror. So, yeah, live and learn. We'll check out the mirror every now and again now.
Every once in a while, you got to take a peek in that mirror. You never know who's coming. It could be the leader.
Hey, Chris, I'm with you, man. You got to keep looking forward and passing and, you know, not trying to mirror race too much. But, yeah, it's tough down there, and going down below that apron can get a little sketchy for sure. So how's the cars handling tonight? I mean, we know the track temp was pretty hot in practice, but how are they handling today?
You know what? The cars are actually handling pretty decent. On the longer runs in practice, they started getting pretty tight. But we're talking like 22 to 25 laps into a run, so not only the tires worn out, but they are, you know, they're also low on fuel. So they do get tight at that point. Otherwise, it's pretty good.
Well, Chris, you're going to be slotted right now in your 27th position, so you're going to have some ground to make up. What's going to be the strategy going forward here? Is we still got well over half the race here to go yet.
Well, my strategy is going to be kind of stay to the rear. That's been my strategy, honestly. Stay to the rear for a little bit. I think we have some more side-by-side action that may bite somebody. So yeah, I'm just going to hang back, and I did my 5-second repair. I'm good.
So you're going to take the 5-second repair. You're going to hold on to that quick repair, as you do have 2 of them here tonight from Las Vegas. So, hey, Chris, good luck the rest of the way. We're going to keep an eye out for you out here on track, and maybe we'll get to talk to you yet again at the end of this one.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Good luck, Chris. Yeah, you know, Roger, it's so funny when you know, you run these cars, and you know, I usually try to take that same strategy, but I see myself 15 laps in trying to keep passing people because I get overly aggressive, and I think you got to really remember patience is the key with these types of races.
Yeah, patience is definitely a virtue, especially when you're doing 75 laps in a street stock at a very large track where you know you could possibly run 3 and maybe even 4 wide and make it work. I mean, you got to think sometime, is the risk worth the reward when it's only on lap number 7 of the race? I mean, we're not lap number 7. It's just, you know, just making a point, you know. Sometimes you got to think twice before you make the move.
Yeah, you know, it's really like any other sport as well, right? You got to have a strategy and you got to stick to it. If you go away from that strategy and you're not patient with the strategy, that's where you really can get into mistakes, right? So his strategy is to stay in the back and be patient. Let's see if he follows that or if he gets a little bit more aggressive in a few laps here.
Yeah, once we come down to this restart here, as you see these guys filing up, they're going to tighten it up. Hunter Conley going to lead us back to green flag racing here with Timmy Smith to the outside, and it looks like Willie Everham's going to be on the inside, and Colton Farrow going to start in your 4th position. Robert Duvendak's going to start 5th, and it looks like Lloyd the Iceman Saunders is going to start in your 6th position. So it's going to be interesting here to see how you got 2 teammates here running inside your top 4, but they're on different lanes. Let's see if they're going to be able to work with each other, or are they going to get stuck being split apart? As you see, those are the 2 red cars towards the front of this one. You see the pace car ducking off here. And we're back to green flag racing. Hunter Conley on the loud pedal early. We've seen that quite a bit here from a lot of these drivers. They're not waiting around for the green flag. As soon as they can go, they're going to go. As right now you see Hunter Conley going to get a huge lead down into turn 1, about a car length and a half lead over Timmy Smith, but he'll reel him in. in a moment. Right now, your battle, though, is Robert Duvendak and Colton Farrow for that 4th and 5th position. They're side by side coming down the backstretch here once again.
Yeah, you know, too, on the restarts, these cars they're a little bit more difficult to shift, so there could be a misshift at some point to keep an eye out for in a restart.
And Hunter Conley had the good restart, but now here comes Timmy Smith once again, and now Robert Duvendak going to slide right out around Colton Farrow and Willie Evernham. He's going to go to the top side of the track. He's going to try and get right in line with Timmy and try and push Timmy towards the front. He knows the fast way around. He knows who's quick around here, and he finds himself to the outside following one of those quick guys. Right now, it's about a 6-7 car break away from the rest of the field. And then you got a whole gaggle of cars back towards the back there. I think I see Josiah Millen back here, Cody Levitt, a whole bunch of your deeper, darker dude teammates are also back here. Say that about 5 times fast, Tony. I bet you find yourself spinning in circles as you try and say that one.
No doubt. It looks like Robert Duvendak is his strategy is try to run up at the front.
Yeah, Robert's one of those hard-nosed racers. He does not like to be towards the back of the field, and you know it's early, and we talked about patience being key. Is Robert Duvendak has one gear, and that's flat to the floor all day long, every day. Doesn't matter. It might as well be Bristol, Martinsville. You can put him at the Bull Ring at Las Vegas, and he's still going to go flat to the floor around the track. I mean, that's what he's known for, and that's what he's really going to do. Is you see a little bit farther back here, Jay Steffi has caught this draft, and he's kind of searching around. He was on the high side a moment ago, looking to the outside of the 28, the orange car right there of Lloyd Saunders, and then he kind of decided maybe I'll just ride back here, maybe save a little fuel for right now, let these guys battle it out, as that backpack actually is running down your leaders a little bit at a time. That's led by Dwayne LaPrade and the 97 of William Crossland.
Yeah, it looks like that front pack got a little bit ahead, but that back pack's catching up. I'm keeping my eye on the number 38, Cody Levitt. I know he's fast. I've raced with him before. He's a great racer, a hard-nosed racer. I wouldn't be surprised to see him up front at the end.
Yeah, Cody Levitt, one of those championship contenders from last year, finds himself back here in the 11th position right now on the outside. One of those deeper, darker dude teammates. You actually see 3 of them right there. Now they're going to go nose to tail, all 3 teammates, and Tony, we know you weren't along for the ride last year when this series developed and whatnot, but those 3 teammates all last year found something that nobody else did. It kind of reminded you of how Martin Truex won his championship in NASCAR the other year. They just outpointed everybody and outsmarted everybody. They went nose to tail every chance they got last year. They didn't try to pass each other. They just tried to stay in line and be the little train that could, and that little train that could won 9 out of the 12 races were won between those 3 drivers. Oh, there's a spin right there towards the back. Levitt around. It looks like Chris Brown also involved, and I believe that was Crossland who was involved in that, getting turned up and around. Cody Levitt right now still riding the outside walls. Still see a couple of these guys crash. Jared Hagedorn now tagging the 88 of Jamie Leach. Levitt going to finally come down off the banking there. He's going to get the 38 point in the right direction. We're going to have to go back on one of these MaxSpeedTV replays and exactly examine and see what happened to the driver of the 38 to put him up on the fence like that. That's not a ride you really want to take. I think Rudy Cummings also involved in that. So let's see. There you see Cody Levitt to the outside. I believe that's Craig Schwartz, who was in the middle, who actually made a little contact with the 97 there of Crossland. All 3 of those teammates that we were talking about involved in this one. Craig Schwartz turned around. Danny Valenzuela. There's Rudy Cummings. Jeff Pogo spinning through there. Jeff Bergner just barely making it through. See a bunch of these guys connection. I'm not sure if we have a bad server connection here tonight or what, as we saw a couple of these guys. Didn't really look like Craig made too much contact with Crossland, but it turned Crossland around, and it looks like Crossland actually, he did get her turned around, and he's going to continue on. He's coming down pit lane right now, so maybe a little bit of that infamous net code out there, not quite sure. Just unfortunate for a lot of these guys who were running mid-pack back.
Yeah, you know, it looks like they took a 3 wide and couldn't hold it for too long, and someone got a little loose. And, you know, we always say in the car when, you know, we start talking about drivers up in the booth, it's always kind of a bad luck thing. And, yeah, we just jinxed Cody right there a little bit.
Well, don't tell Cody we were talking about him or his 3 teammates. Right now, the 38 is out front, as he knows he's not going to get the clean bonus for the race, because that street stock really looks like he's been beating and banging around the bull ring from Las Vegas. Maybe he just got lost on the way to that track and kind of wound up here. So he's going to definitely have to come down pit road and use one of his quick repairs. So Cody Levitt is using one of his quick repairs, and I believe Chris Brown also down pit road. He's going to have to, actually, he had to tow the machine back to pit road. Doug Ungari, who was involved in that, finds himself 30th now. Craig Schwartz, who was involved in that, finds himself in 28th. Jeff Bergner, 27th. Danny Valenzuela. A lot of those guys now, as you're going to see the 38, he's going to come down pit road. That's going to turn the lead over to the number 4 of Matt Grobelny. So a couple incidents here early on from Las Vegas, kind of shaking the field up.
You know, Roger, when you take it 3 wide like that for so long, it's kind of like going down the strip and placing your bets on the roulette table. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and talking about roulette, Cody Levitt, one of those drivers who are actually out of the Las Vegas area, so maybe before the race he should have went over there to the MGM and bet on green, because that's probably going to be his best bet here tonight, is Green Flag Racing the rest of the way to try and get that 38 machine back to the front. You see Cole Day, his teammate, also coming down pit road there. So, I mean, Cody's not a big gambler himself if you know him, but maybe today would have been the day. Talking about a guy who is a big gambler, though, Matt Grobelny out front in the number 4 machine. He's from the New Jersey area. Heads out to Atlantic City quite often, so maybe he's out there gambling because he did not come down pit road this time.
Yeah, Roger, we have drivers from all over, from Canada, from the West Coast, from the East Coast, all the way across North America tonight, which is just great to see.
We do have drivers from just about everywhere. Lloyd, talking about Canada, Lloyd Saunders out here in the 28 machine. There's Lloyd. He's the guy who was the madman, the mad scientist behind the graphics you see, or sorry, the paint you see on the car. The guy who's out front leading right now, Matt Grobelny, was the mind behind putting the decals on the car. So both those gentlemen collaborating to come out here and really put on one heck of a paint scheme for all these guys. Lloyd Saunders, actually, anybody who finds these cars pretty interesting, you can find him over at Northern Graphics on Facebook, and just tell him Roger and Tony sent you, and he can hook you up with some pretty decent paints out there. I really enjoy a lot of his stuff, so just head on over there on Facebook to Northern Graphics and tell him Roger sent you. Tell him Tony sent you. He'll know exactly who we are.
Yeah, you gotta really love that about iRace. Again, just real-life short-track racing, right? Everyone's there to help each other. It's a very family-oriented type of sport, and you know that translates right over to iRacing as well. So yeah, definitely hit him up. He'll take care of you with your paints, there's no doubt.
Yeah, and right now you talk about a family-oriented thing. Right now, the 05 of Timmy Valenzuela finds himself out front right now, bettering his brother. His brother way down the charts. His brother, the 04 of Danny Valenzuela, he finds himself all the way back in 24th. So the rookie showing the wily veteran right now in the family how to drive one of these things in the desert.
Still a lot of time left, though, Roger. And Danny and Tim are great guys. I've raced with them as well. Really good competitors, really good to race with. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Danny up there in the top 5 as well towards the end.
Yeah, right now his teammate Matt Grobelny is out front there in the 4 machine. As we're waiting once again to get the pesky Porsche pace car off the track here from Las Vegas. As there you see it make the left-hand turn. Now it's going to be in the hands, and right there you already see the 4 car on the loud pedal. He's just going to let everybody else sit in the dust. I guess that's why it's the desert.
Huge jump.
Huge jump for the driver of the 4. He's going to throw it down into turn 1. You could pretty much put the tractor trailer that hauled that vehicle here into Las Vegas in between him, and that looks like Jason Dobbs. Let's see. I had a special request from the driver of the 95, and that's to go on board with that driver. You can't see it, but right there you see the orange gloves. I'll say it for you, Jason. Go Vols, #1 in the nation for college basketball. But we're not showing the suit. We said we wouldn't show the driver's suit, and we're not gonna, as he's gonna go still side by side after lap 1 of Green Flag Racing here with Timmy Valenzuela. Timmy's gonna have to give way. Actually, here comes Robert Duvendeck to the inside. He's gonna throw it 3 wide going down into turn 1. Little door check there off the 985 there of Dobbs. They're gonna gather it up there. Look at that. Those guys were sideways, letting them hang out going down into turn number 1, and they all save it. Still Green Flag Racing here, 29 lap, or working lap number 29.
Hang on, Roger, hang on.
We're hanging on to it. We're not falling out of the seat yet because we got a lot of good racing here from Las Vegas. These guys are going to put on the show. Robert Duvendeck once again finds himself in second. He's always a bridesmaid and never a bride. As you see the 4 car of Matt Grobelny off the front bumper all sorts of squirrely. Right now, it's Matt Grobelny, Robert Duvendak. Then on the outside, you got Jason Dobbs, Orlando Rivera in the 54 coming to the front of the field here on the inside lane. And there's Jamie Leach also in that bright yellow machine. They're going to go 3 wide here off the corner. Looks like Skylar Lewis to the inside, Dobbs in the middle, and it looks like, Valenzuela in the middle, Dobbs up top.
Yeah, Dobbs got bumped out of the draft there, got real high. Oh, boy.
They're hanging on to these things for sure as Timmy Valenzuela went full send as he came into the corner there. Almost took out Jason Dobbs, but Dobbs was paying attention, and Dobbs backed off the loud pedal and allowed the 05, and the 05 still pretty much squirrely here in the middle of the tri-oval.
Oh, look at Robert going for the lead there, Roger.
Robert Duvendak going to the front here on the outside, trying to make the power move, trying to see how far he can push that gas pedal through the floorboard as he's trying to get the run here off the outside. He has nobody to help him. Troy Lent's going to be the next guy who possibly could get up to the front. But right now, Matt Grobelny, his best friend's the 54 of Orlando Rivera. He is right on that back bumper.
Someone needs to get out there and help Robert.
Robert not going to have it as, you saw the 54 come off turn 4 there just a little bit sideways. This is what we're talking about. This is the street stocks always hanging it out here.
My heart is racing, Roger. This is incredible.
This is the absolute type of show that these IROCs, these street stocks put on. Robert on the outside still trying to hang on, just not able to. Matt Grobelny's still out there leading this thing here from Las Vegas. Grobelny's been out front now for 7 laps. Duvendak's been out front for 7 laps, so he's no slouch to the front. Orlando Rivera, though, he wants to come to the front. He hasn't had a taste here of being in first place yet this year. Didn't lead a lap last week at Daytona, and now you can just see it. He wants it.
This is some very good racing right now, Roger.
Yeah, you got actually 3 different packs right here. You got Matt Grobelny and Robert Duvendak here leading this first one, and then I believe if you go a little bit farther back, Kerry Chim back here in the middle. He's side by side with Timmy Valenzuela. That's kind of a little pack there. And you got to go a little bit farther back. William Croslin leading the charge here in the front. Sorry, actually, it's Cole Day leading the charge. That's Cole Day, William Croslin, Jeff Berger, Danny Valenzuela, Cody Levitt, Craig Schwartz, Chris Brown, Danny Valenzuela. They're all back there towards the the third pack. They got 3 packs rolling around here from Las Vegas. I mean, you name it, we got it. You pick it, we'll show it. But right now, Matt Grobelny hanging on to the lead here with Robert Duvendak. Now Robert has, looks like the 023 of Troy Lent has now caught the back bumper of the 12 machine. So now where he's going to have a pusher, he's going to be able to maybe take the lead back here and lead a couple more in the desert.
Yeah, it looks like the 023 machine, Troy Lent, he picked his horse for Robert Duvendak. He's going to try to ride that all the way forward to the front with him.
Yeah, another guy who's towards the front here who we haven't got to talk about, Skylar Lewis in the number 3 machine. You can tell he's a rookie because he has a gray paint and has not competed in a race to get a color yet. But he's out here running that gray number 3 as he throws it in a little bit sideways. That's something you got to do with these cars. You pretty much got to let it eat on that right rear tire. And that's how you're going to really make your moves and get the car to turns. You see Grobelny getting a little loose there coming off turn number 2, but he'll hang on to it. We're still green flag racing here. I believe that's working lap number 10 under green flag.
Make no mistake, folks, they're hanging it out almost every lap.
Yeah, you saw right there the number 4 Grobelny kind of really slip up the track and just about get into Robert Duvendak as I saw a car towards the back. I believe that was Willie Evernham. Willie Evernham was all sorts of out of shape coming there off turn number 4. He's hanging on to it in 16th place right now, trying to follow the number 62 of Colton Farrow up through the field as, like we said, it's racing everywhere. It's hard-nosed racing, pack racing. And it's just, it puts on one heck of a show. Matt Grobelny, though, out front. Robert Duvendak is in second. Orlando Rivera right there pushing Grobelny on the inside. He finds himself third right now as they work down into turns number 3 and 4.
Yeah, I'm super impressed with Matt right now, staying out front, and, leading the draft and getting pushed. Very impressive.
Right now, I'm looking at timing and scoring, though. Matt Grobelny, Orlando Rivera, Jamie Leach, and Jason Dobbs, who finds themselves all inside your top 10. Those drivers have been out there for 21 laps. Now, remember back to the beginning of the race when we gave race facts, pit stops, 25 to 28 laps. Right now, I believe we had 2 cautions in between that stint, so they can probably push it to lap number 30. But if we continue to click off green flag racing here, those laps are going to be chewed into real quick, and they're going to have to worry about making green flag pit stops here in a couple moments.
Oh. Can't wait to see that, Roger.
Green flag pit stops are always something to talk about. Ooh, right there, Troy Lent almost into the side of the 54 of Orlando Rivera. That's going to put him 3 wide right now. Looks like Lento's going to be the big loser. He's going to have to fall back. It looks like 8th place. He'll finally fall back into line, but almost had a moment there with the 54 and the 023 of Lent, but they gathered it up. And actually, we see 3 wide racing back here with the 91 of Willie Evernham, the 222s of Ed Hewitt, and I believe that's Kerry Chim on the outside. So you got 3 wide racing throughout the field. Just because these guys aren't battling for the first place doesn't mean they're not trying the hardest, and you can pretty much name it or show it, like I keep saying. I mean, there's racing all over the place. Just because we're showing the front doesn't mean they're not racing in the back here. As Jeff Berger looking to the outside of the 77 of Kerry Chim is, ooh, the 222s, and I believe that is Timmy Valenzuela going around. That's going to bring out as they synchronize spin there on the front stretch.
Yeah, the leaders are wrecking as well.
Troy Lent also around, and actually that's going to gather quite a few of them. I believe that's Josiah Millen and Lloyd Saunders involved. Well, we got a lot to digest here. Let's pick Timmy Valenzuela, and let's go back a little bit here and see if we can find what happened to the 05 and the 222s of Ed Hewitt. That was your first little incident that happened. So 2 incidents here all at once. Let's go back and find out what happened. Let's go above here. You see Timmy Valenzuela on the outside in the 05. It looks like Timmy doesn't know Ed's down there and comes down. That starts the chain reaction, or chain of actions, I guess. Those 2 spin out. Nobody else is going to get involved there. Then you got to go up here to the front, and then they're all already spinning. So we're going to have to back her up and find out exactly what happened in that one.
Look like the leaders there, Roger.
Yeah, Troy Lent right there in front.
Yeah, it looks like Matt and Robert got into it up front, and then everyone behind them just got collected up in it.
Oh, Matt getting turned off the front bumper of the 54. So it all started out front with your leaders, and for a moment it looked like we might have been all right. Then Lloyd and Hunter Conley got into it, and that turned those drivers both around. Everybody else coming into the picture, they're all going to get around it. So that whole front lead pack pretty much taken out except for Matt Grobelny. He's going to come out of that unscathed. Let's go on board, though. Let's wind her back and go on board with the driver of the number 40. Let's get his cockpit view of this whole situation here at the front. You hear him going down into turn 1. He had to lift a little bit. He sees the action happening in front. He's off the gas. He's down off the apron, or off the racing surface, and you can see everybody just piling in front of him, and not sure if he got tagged from behind, but around went the number 40 of Josiah Millen, and he'll get her turned around and point in the right direction. Not sure there's much damage done to that machine, but going to lose a lot of track position as he was inside your top 5.
Yeah, it just looks like the 12 and the 4s got into each other a little bit. I don't think it was anyone's fault, but just a racing deal, and the 4 actually came out and escaped, stayed up front.
He stayed up front, but he's going to bring that 4 machine down pit road. Only 5 guys staying out. Looks like Timmy Smith, though, going to be the first one off pit road with Robert Duvendak right in tow. Troy Lent, then Skylar Lewis, then Cole Day, Kerry Chim, Craig Schwartz off pit road. But a couple guys that stayed out, though. Michael Whitaker in the 707. He's going to stay out. Hunter Conley's going to stay out there. Colton Farrow going to stay out. Willie Evernham. Jay Steffi also going to stay out. So your top 5 staying out here under this yellow.
Yeah, and it's so hard to collect it once you get loose like that and you get into someone else. I mean, I saw a few here where guys collected it, stayed patient, stayed calm, and didn't cause wrecks. Owe a lot of credit to them. That's a very hard thing to do.
Hard thing to do, that is for sure. Michael Whitaker went out. He led a lap, and he's going to come down pit road. Well, let's see if we can get a word in with one of the drivers who were towards the front of the field when that yellow was brought out. Let's see if we can get a word in with the number 4 of Matt Grobelny. Matt, you got a copy. It's Tony and Roger up here in the booth.
I got you guys. How you guys doing?
Well, we're doing pretty good up here. You guys are making, Tony and myself pretty much fall out of the seat there on that last green flag run. Tell us what's going on out there. It looks like it's a blast hanging on to these cars.
Oh yeah, man. Just running side by side with some of these guys and getting pushes from behind. It's a blast out here. I can't ask for anything more.
Yeah, it's a blast, definitely. But tell us what transpired there as you were out front leading. I think you led about 15 laps, actually, to be exact, that you put that number 4 machine out front, and then all heck looked like it broke loose there.
I don't really know what happened too much. I just know on one of the entries through 3 and 4, the driver Duvendak his car seemed to drive up my right rear and almost looked like his car came off the ground. And then the same thing happened 1 and 2. I got a shove from behind, which pushed me up a little bit, and I think he just came down, and it was just a racing incident where he just drove up. But yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah, there momentarily when all heck broke loose there, it actually looked like the guys behind you were going to save it. They were 4 wide at one point, just about sideways, and then unfortunately it didn't work out for them, but you came out of that looking pretty unscathed.
Yeah, like I just said, his car drove up my right rear a little bit, but other than that, I got through it fine, and I was actually talking to my teammate. I only had about 9 laps left of fuel, so if that caution didn't come out there, I would have fallen off pretty bad there.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Oh, sorry, Roger. Yeah, and I'm just going to say that. A heck of a battle with you and Robert. I'm going to follow that matchup for this race and races going forward. Seems like you guys are both very good racers and race clean and hard together.
Yeah, we run a few leagues together, so we definitely know how to drive around each other, and it's always a good battle between us.
Well, right now it looks like you got the one to go, Matt, so we'll get you back down there to your team, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
There you heard it from the driver of the 4. Just maybe a little bit of damage on either one of those vehicles, and it caused one driver to drive up onto the other driver's car. Something you don't normally see, but if there is a little bit of damage, the right rear tires do stick out just a little bit farther outside the body, so that could be something that could have happened there. But we're about to go back green flag racing right here on the front row, though. Going to be 2 teammates. The question is, how nice are they going to play with each other? Hunter Conley going to have the inside with Colton Farrow to the outside. Willie Evernham going to be behind them with Jay Steffi. Then it's going to be Tim Smith and Robert Duvendak going to be your first 2 guys on fresh tires. Let's see if fresh tires really do play a big factor here or not. The pace car's turning off right there. Now it's going to be Hunter Conley. When does Hunter want to go? Hunter's on the loud pedal real early. He's going to jump out to another great lead. Colton Farrow tried to follow, unfortunately not able to get clear of Willie Evernham. As now
Willie
he'll go
did a good
clear.
job.
Now he'll
He
go
did a
clear.
good
The
job
first
getting
4.
down there.
First 4 will go single file.
Yeah, Willie did a good job getting down there. Looks like he couldn't keep it though, and Colton was able to clear him.
Yeah, it looks like you got to go all the way back here to Robert Duvendak, and I believe that's Troy Lent, who are side-by-side. That's your first side-by-side battle, as everybody in front of them gone single file. Gary Chim also side-by-side with 3 of Skyler of Lewis. So back here in your 6th, 7th, and 8th position is your battles on track right now. Is actually, you would think we're at Talladega or Daytona right now, just trying to tick off laps with everybody that's single file throughout the field.
Yeah, I love watching this 12 car, man. He likes to battle. It's great to watch.
Robert Duvendak right now in the 12 machine finds himself 7th right there on the outside of the 77 to Kerry Chim. Once again, Robert finds himself on the outside with no help. Lewis is out there. Actually, Lewis is going to duck in now. Oh, we got a car spinning around. I think that's the 97 of William Croslin. He's pointed in the wrong direction. We're going to have to take another one of our MaxSpeedTV replays and see what happened to Croslin. Croslin right there in front of the number 4 of Matt Robelny, who we just talked to as they come off turn. See, I'm thinking, Tony, we really do have a little bit of netcode issues going on with this server, because to me, it did not look like the number 4 of Grobelny really got into the back bumper of the 97. It just kind of turned him around.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. And, you know, that's just nature of iRacing. We always like to say as drivers, we treat it as like a flat tire.
Yeah, it's not something you want to see, especially for either of these drivers. I know they were both amped up to come out here tonight. Unfortunately, you know, it's one of those things. We say it in the name. It's iRacing. It's internet-based racing. It's internet simulation racing. And sometimes, depending on either of the connections to the drivers or possibly even just a server connection, could affect how these cars handle it. All it is, you know, your computer transfers to a server based out of, I think this server was based out of the Boston area or the Massachusetts area. And then so my computer has to go to Boston, and then it has to travel to, let's just say, Danny Valenzuela, who's out there in the Utah area. So it has to travel all the way across the United States to reach the next guy, and then his information has to come back to a server, and then it has to come to me. So in a blink of an eye, that data, that information has to travel the United States and tell each other where they are. And sometimes might be a little bit of a delay, like my speech, and it just doesn't come across, doesn't get there in time. And then we have situations like you just saw.
Those darn interwebs, Roger. You know, you can't beat them.
Those interwebs sometime will get you. Right now, Hunter Conley, though, out front with Colton Farrow in second. Willie Evernham finds himself in third. And Jay Steffi right there in the fourth position. Timmy Smith being quiet right there in your fifth position, though. Last week's winner from Daytona. The 5-wide pass. Once again, anybody who's tuning in that did not get to see last week's race, definitely head on over to the MaxSpeed YouTube page and look up Salt Flat Racing IROC Series and see that last lap, because it was a one-lap shootout, and Timmy Smith had the kahunas, if you will, and he took her 5 wide and put her below that white line, and said, "Hey, I got the momentum. I'm coming through one way or another." And he actually ended up passing everybody on the apron cleanly. Didn't make contact with a single person, as it looks like Timmy's going to come down and get some fuel in that 000.
5 wide, holy smokes! You think 3 wide, you think 4 wide. He took it 5 wide. That's amazing.
That man's used to running on the dirt side. He's used to hanging her out there. He's going to bring her down, going to get some fuel in that machine. That's going to turn the lead over to the 77 of Kerry Chim. Lloyd Iceman Sonder going to be there in second. Mac Robelny finds himself back into third. And a new guy inside your top 5, the 140 of Dwayne LaPrade.
Yeah, and you saw Troy and Robert, who were up front a lot of the race. They pit at lap 47 there, so I don't know if the strategies are going to try to go the rest of the way or what, but we'll see.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how that plays out for them. You know what, while we're driving around here under yellow, let's see, maybe we can find a driver to talk to. I believe I do see the driver of the 985. Vol Nation is out there running in the 8th place. Vol Nation, you got a copy. It's Tony and Roger in the booth.
Hey, yeah, go Vols. What's up?
Well, go Vols is right. I'll say it for you, but we're still not showing that driver suit for you.
Oh, that's all right. I've been listening to the Tennessee game and racing. This is the hardest thing ever right here.
Well, we don't know what's going on. Why don't you explain to us and all the viewers who are tuning in to watch you and not the Vols? Give them the game day update.
Tennessee pulled it out in overtime, picked up a victory, #1 team in the country. Let's go.
That's only temporary. I mean, Syracuse may have only got 12 votes to be in the top 25 this week, but don't worry, they're going to come. I mean, sooner or later, right?
I don't really know anything other than Tennessee Vols, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, man, I feel like I'm talking to a guy who likes Alabama or something, and all he can say is Roll Tide.
Absolutely not.
Well, while we got you here real quick, why don't you give us an update? How does the track feel? I know you got the one to go, so let's see what you have to say.
Oh, well, I just got to hang tight. This has been rough, but I'm just learning as we go, so we'll see what happens as the laps wind down.
Yeah, right now you find yourself in the 7th position. Going forward, what's going to be the strategy here?
Hopefully wait like last week and let them wad up real big and then just get a lucky break and get somewhere and go up front.
Well, we have seen that happen. Hopefully you don't get wadded up along with these guys. We'll get you back down there, but hey, good luck the rest of the way, and go Vols once again.
Hey, go Vols, buddy.
Good luck, Jason.
Well, Vol Nation right there for Jason Dobbs. If anybody follows Jason Racing Dobbs Griffith on Facebook, you know all he talks about is his Vols, and that guy's a pretty dedicated man himself. So he finds himself in 7th, but Kerry Chim finds himself in 1st place. He's going to bring us to green here with Lloyd Iceman Sonder on the outside, along with Matt Robelny and Dwayne LaPrade in your 4th position. Waiting on that pace car once again to get off the track, and there it goes. It makes that sharp left-hand turn. Now the field's going to... Oh, they're crashing in the back here before we even go racing. I believe Michael Whitaker, Jeff Bergner, Hunter Conley, a lot of these guys already turned around here. I'm not sure what all happened there. We're just going to go back here on a replay, and we're going to see exactly what happened with all these drivers towards the back. I'm sure there's some people that are very unhappy right now.
Yeah, I didn't see it, Roger. I heard it. It sounded like a motor may have blown, but I'm not sure.
Well, let's see. We're watching this as we're still green flag racing here. Not sure exactly what happened. We're going to find out right here what happened towards the back of this field. Oh, it looks like a big checkup on the outside, and Donald Bennett checked up, and Michael Whitaker wasn't ready to check up, and a bunch of other guys. It looks like Willie Evernham was involved along with Colton Farrow. and Hunter Conley, but we're still green flag racing, and that's going to be Macro Belney going back to the front here with Lloyd Saunders pushing him, so we're not going to get a yellow. We're going to stay green flag racing here, and that's going to really split these guys up, as now there's guys all over the track.
Yeah, you know, Roger, it could have been a missed shift. Like I said earlier, these cars are a little bit more difficult to shift than the Xfinity cars and the Cup cars.
Yeah, right now Macro Belney finds himself out front as Hunter Conley's 26 seconds off the pace. Lloyd finds himself right there. Ooh, someone going through the grass. A bunch of them coming through the grass.
They saved it. They saved it, I think.
Oh, someone coming back out on track that's going to wipe a bunch of them out. Not sure exactly who that was. It was not Cold Day. It was one of the other purple machines that are out there on track. Looks like Cody Levitt was involved. Let's see if we can go back. The yellow's going to fly here, so we're going to go back and grab one of these MaxSpeedTV replays once again and see what is exactly going on out there on track. This is uncharacteristic right now of these guys, as you're seeing yellow after yellow. I know this happened in front of Cody Levitt here. I'm not exactly sure what car it was. As you see a bunch of guys going down through the grass. Looks like the 222s there of Ed Hewitt was one of those guys. Let's go back a little bit farther here and see exactly what happened to Ed Hewitt. It looks like oh, a little contact. Ed Hewitt drifted up, and it looks like he just got into Kerry Chim. He went through the grass, found himself coming right back out onto the track, right into Cold Day. And Cody Levitt sends both those drivers up into the fence, and I believe Josiah Millen also going up and over.
I bet Cody didn't even see that coming.
There's a good possibility Cody didn't know what was going on. Let's go back and let's see if we can go on board with Josiah Millen and see exactly what happened in front of him. See, he's back here a little bit farther behind the field coming off turn number 4. You see him going through the grass. You see a couple more down there. And all of a sudden, right there, one of them comes shooting back across the track. Gets Cody Levitt. Cody's sitting there on track. Nowhere Josiah could go because he had somebody to the inside, and up and over the number 40 went. Hits the inside wall. Finds the gear and turns her around and starts going again. But, you know, not the way these guys want to be racing right now, I guess, from Las Vegas here in the early going. There's still over 25 laps to go.
Yeah, it looks like Troy got into the, 222 car coming out of the, they're both coming out of the grass, so. They both tried to save it. I thought they did, but I guess they didn't.
Both those drivers not able to save their car.
It's so difficult. I mean, these cars have split tires on them. They're not designed to be in grass, right? It's very, very difficult to save those types of cars in that situation.
They weren't able to save it, and neither was the guy that we're going to talk to. Josiah Millen, you got a copy. It's Tony and Roger up here in the booth.
I got you.
Well, Joe, you came storming up through the field early on, got wrapped up in one, and once again, you find yourself having to come down pit road, use a quick repair. Tell us what happened from your perspective.
Well, they started wrecking on the front stretch. A couple of them went through the grass, and then someone came from the grass up to in the middle of the field. So I don't know. Tried to avoid Cody. I clipped Cody and put me over. Had to use my last fast repair, so.
Well, so you're out of fast repairs out there tonight. Tell us what the racing has been like out there. I know Tony and myself, we've almost fallen out of our seats a couple times here. It just looks pretty hectic.
I would say it's pretty hectic. I've been white-knuckling my steering wheel a little bit. I think I drove up close to the top 10, so I'm pretty proud of myself for that. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens from here.
Yeah, we'll try and keep that Keystone machine pointed in the right direction for your team, because I believe right now Donald Bennett's sitting in the 12th position for you, and you're back in 20 seconds, so you guys have a little bit of ground to make up for the rest of the way here to gain some more points.
Yeah, we're looking for a good finish. I think we're sitting second in team points, so from here on out, I think I might try to send it a little bit.
Well, 25 laps to go here, Tony. The driver of the 40, he says he's pretty much, well, he's going to send it, and I think you know a little bit about sending things.
Yeah, I definitely do. You know, it's funny, this Las Vegas Motor Speedway is so big and it's so wide and there's so much room to race, but when things get loose, right, it feels like there's not even an inch on the track to maneuver, right? And that's what it looked like happened there, and he got into Cody. But I think they'll come back here, and again, it's all having the team during the league. It's all about points. It's all about strategy. It's all about long term. It's a marathon, not a sprint. it sounds like Josiah understands that, which is great.
Yeah, those guys really out here running mainly for the, they'd like to have a points championship. Everybody would always like to have a points individual championship, but those two drivers out here, I do know they're going for the points, or the team championship themselves. They want to put the Keystone State up there and put that on display, as those drivers find themselves right now 12th and 22nd, though, so both of them have a lot of ground to work, or to make up here, as we're going to get the one to go this time by the line. Hopefully we can get a little bit better restart than we did under the last circumstances. We saw guys going pretty much everywhere. Maybe, like you quoted, Tony, a misshift. Maybe somebody just brake checking the line a little bit. Not quite sure. There's all sorts of circumstances that you could play through.
Yeah, I've done it myself. Misshift in these cars is pretty easy to do, or, you know, brake check, or, you know, restarts are hard, right? They're really hard. You want to get a good restart. It's very important to get the momentum early, but, you know, you're right on the line, right on the edge on those restarts. Well, it looks like the brothers are in the top 5. Huh there, Roger? Tim and Danny, both really stand-up guys. Like I said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised to see them up front. It looks like they are here on, what, lap 56? We got less than 25 to go.
Yes, sibling rivalry about to brew here. You're going to have Timmy Valenzuela starting there to the inside, and brother Danny's going to start outside. We're going to have to see how this one shakes up. This is going to be the first time we've seen it this year, as these two brothers are going to go door to door. You're going to have the 0-5 to the inside and the 0-4 on the outside, but right now they got to wait for the pace car to roll off, and whenever Matt Rebelny decides he's going to fire that machine off, Lloyd Saunders is going to have to follow closely on the outside. Let's see how this shakes out. There goes the pace car once again. We're about to get this back going. Green flags in the air, and we are racing once again here from Las Vegas. And under 20 laps to go now. Once again, it looks like Matt Grobelny's going to get a great start. Not so much for the driver on the outside there, the number 28 of Lloyd Saunders. Looks like he might have spun the tires a little bit. That's going to allow Timmy Valenzuela right now to take that 05 to 05 machine to the second place. Right now, out-dueling his brother. His brother got caught there right behind Saunders, and that's going to put him in the 4th position. So right now, give it to little Timmy. Timmy's out front, but here comes his brother Danny to the inside.
Well, don't look now, but Robert pedal to the floor. Duvendak is right there in 5th place.
Here comes Duvendak to the outside, going to get up onto the back bumper there of the 28 of Lloyd Saunders. Those are two drivers that are unfamiliar with each other, as we have a purple car up and over. That looks like the 02 of Craig Schwartz, spinning like a top towards the back of this one. Another yellow flag going to wave here.
It's too bad. He had a great qualifying, great practice, and he just can't seem to get it together in the pack.
Yeah, Craig Schwartz missing last week, so this is the first time he's out on track here this year, and unfortunately it looks like he's going to end up on his roof. I mean, he did just win the Hardship Award from the Eldora Speedway for the 2018 season. I know he didn't want to have a Hardship Award here tonight. Oh, a little contact between him and Jay Steffi as they came through the tri-oval. And then it looks like Troy Lent got into him along with the 37 of Cole Day, and that put Craig Schwartz up into the catch fence, and that's going to probably end his days. You saw him come back down onto the track. As you see, we really must have connection issues to this server, because you can see guys blinking in and out all throughout the track.
Yeah, that was like a little netcode there, too, Roger.
And we hate calling netcode, but sometimes that's just what's happening, and we're going to let these guys catch back up to the pace car. Matt Grobelny's going to lead them to the back of the pace car here. Timmy Valenzuela finds himself in 2nd. Lloyd Saunders is 3rd. Robert Duvendak is 4th. And Danny Valenzuela finds himself right now in your 5th position. Well, we're going to step away momentarily, fans, and we're going to bring you a commercial break. We're going to catch our breath here as these guys get all bunched back up, and we'll be right back here. You don't want to step away. You don't want to miss any of the Salt Flat Racing, the IROC series here on MaxSpeedTV. Welcome back to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Salt Flat Racing, the IROC Series. This is the second race of the season, and right now, Matt Grobelny, after having to take provisional points last week, finds himself out front of this one. He's been out front for most of the night. 26 laps out of the 60 laps here have been led by the number 4. Timmy Valenzuela finds himself in second right now, out-dueling his brother, who is running in the 5th position. Lloyd the Iceman Saunders, though, finds himself 3rd, and Loud Pedal Duvendak finds himself in the 4th position. Jason Balls Nation Dobbs finds himself 6th. Orlando Rivera finds himself in the 8th position. Jamie Leach is in 9th. Jamie Leach is in 8th. Skylar Lewis in the 3 car is 9th. And Jared Hagerdorn for Underdog Racing finds himself right now in that 10th position. Outside the top 10 are the 000s of Timmy Smith. The 31 of Donald Bennett in 12th. The number 21 of Jeff Bergner is 13th. The 707 of Michael Whitaker 14th. And Chris Brown's going to round out your top 15. So a lot of good guys scattered throughout the entire field here. And we're not done green flag racing here. Let's check out your caution numbers, though. We had 7 cautions here from Las Vegas with under 15 laps to go. I believe it's 15 to go right now. We have had 9 lead changes. Unfortunately, the caution counter a little higher than we're used to here, but you expect to shake the cobwebs out once you get off those restrictor plates and get here to a little bit smaller of a track.
Yeah, like we're talking in the break, Roger, a few of these guys, a few cars back racing real life. We'll see how they come up front. And, you know, I'm liking Loud Pedal Duvendak myself. I'm going to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, Loud Pedal Duvendak, though, is a veteran racer, has the R next to his name for being a rookie here with the Salt Flat Racing League. But he also finds a guy out in front of him who is very green. That very green driver going to be the 05 of Timmy Valenzuela. Timmy's put in a lot of track time lately to try to come up to speed with this series. Unfortunately, Timmy's still not exactly a veteran like Duvendak, who's been for years here on iRacing. So we're going to have to see how the very vanilla, very green 05 is going to be able to hold on to her with Robert Duvendak, who's probably really going to push the dickings, if you will, of the back bumper of the 05. So you're going to have to watch out and see what happens here between those drivers. We're waiting for the pace car to come off the track here once again. Matt Grobelny's still going to be your control car here on this restart. We're going to come take the green with 13 laps to go. So 13 more circuits around here. Let's see if we can finish this one out. Green flag. And there goes Matt. Green flag's in the air. We're racing once again. A little bit of a gap there towards the front of the field. But as you can already see it, Robert Duvendak was all over Timmy Valenzuela, and he realized that might not work out so much and go to the inside, let Timmy sit there on the outside by himself.
The old veteran.
Right now, Matt Grobelny does find himself out towards the front. I shouldn't say towards the front. That is the front of this pack, and he still has about a car length lead over Lloyd Saunders, but Lloyd's getting a push there from Duvendak down towards the inside. As they got all sorts of sideways there, and Timmy really went towards the wall. So Timmy's going to lose the momentum to the outside, and now it looks like his brother there, Danny's going to get around to the inside. So now put Danny the better of the Valenzuelas. He's inside your top 5 now in 4th, as Timmy's back to 6th with no help.
Yeah, I think the older brother just taught the little brother a little lesson there.
Stay in line and you'll be fine. Right now, though, tell that to Lloyd, because Lloyd got shuffled out from the front bumper of Duvendak. Duvendak kind of gave him a little shot, and Lloyd wasn't ready for it and moved him up the track a little bit. Now you find Matt Grobelny in the lead. Robert Duvendak is in 2nd. On 3rd there on the outside, Lloyd Iceman Saunders, and then you got Danny Valenzuela there. So now what happens when it comes down to, you know, just a handful of laps to go? You got 2 team cars towards the front. You got Matt Grobelny and Danny Valenzuela up here for SFR West. They're up here inside the top 5. Look for those guys to really work together. Oh, Duvendak got a little loose there, and Danny had to lift so he wouldn't end up turning that number 12 machine.
Yeah, that was nice of Danny there. Duvendak taking a little hard in.
Taking it a little hard in, that's right, as they're still green flag racing. Look at these guys pretty much scatter through the field. Everybody, you see that pink car? That's Timmy Smith towards the middle of this pack as he's trying to work his way back up through. And you got 3 wide racing towards the back. That's one of, I believe that was Hunter Conley back there. Hunter Conley was 3 wide with Craig Schwartz and Kerry Chim, and Ed Hewitt right there trying to ride the bumper of the number 7 O'Conley, and those guys, they're battling it out for the 20th position. So yeah, we're coming down to it, but these guys are still in the back fighting, trying to gain every position they can. And just a little check up here on one of our spotlight drivers for tonight. That was the 09 of JP Brennan. He finds himself 3 laps down because of a connection issue in the 30th place right now, not in the running here tonight for the win, but out front, tell that to Lloyd, who's really making a comeback on the outside.
Yeah, it looks like Loud Pedal Duvendak's going to try to sneak down on the apron at on the front stretch here 1 lap. He keeps looking down there.
Yes, he keeps looking, but right now he finds himself staying in line, and right behind Duvendak's going to be the 985 of Jason Dobbs. So you got a bunch of real strong contenders. The cream is rising to the top. Is right there's the move. Duvendak to the outside.
Whoa! He switched it up on us.
Duvendak went right to the outside, got right in front of the 28 of Lloyd Saunders as they work down the backstretch there. We're going to have to see how that plays out, because now that's going to put Jason Dobbs, the second guy, to the inside, as Lloyd and Robert, they're not on the same page, as Robert was swerving and it looked like Lloyd was, you know, bobbing. They weren't together. They weren't in sync.
Don't put your phones down and your laptops down quite yet. We still got 6-7 to go here, and it's a great battle.
Great battles all over the tracks. You see him 3 wide towards the middle of this. You got 3 purple cars. I believe that was Cody, Cole, and Craig. They're 3 wide back here. Don't tell them they're teammates right now, because they don't want to hear it. The Deeper Darker Dude team battling it out for the 16th, 17th, 18th position back here, like they're battling for the win. But they're not up front, though, as it's still Duvendak to the outside of Grobelny. Nobody outside there helping Duvendak.
Yeah, I don't know how long you can keep that up with no help.
Well, they're 3 wide right behind them. It looks like Lloyd is 3 wide with Jamie Leach. Jamie Leach in that yellow car going to go to the inside and get around Lloyd. Lloyd's going to have to duck in there. I believe that other car was the 54 of Orlando Rivera. Look at him as they fan out coming down the backstretch.
Duvendak's still up there. That's great.
Duvendak being able to make that outside lane work. You can get a little side draft off these cars, but if you get too close to the rear spoiler, it could really put a lot of air on the back spoiler of the guy to the inside and force him to really lose front grip and just kind of slide off the center to the exit of the corner. Right now, Duvendak, though, really being able to hold serve to the outside by himself, because that inside lane there of Matt Grobelny and Jason Dobbs and Danny Valenzuela right there also to the inside. They got it working, but hey, take a look to the outside. You see that aqua blue car? Well, just behind him now, here comes the 000 of Timmy Smith. Timmy Smith coming to the outside. He sees Duvendak's able to hold on by himself out there. Well, now he wants to come and play. He wants to come to the dance at the end of this. He wants to be the spoiler. Right now, we're going to come down here. We're going to get 5 laps to go here from Las Vegas. Matt Grobelny leading at the line. Now, right now, any caution that happens here from here to the finish, that will end the race. Right now, Matt Grobelny's yelling shoe booty turn 1. Robert Duvendak saying, no, you don't. I'm coming back to the outside. I got the man Smith behind me pushing him. They're going to go 2 by 2 for the first 6, 7, 8 cars, 2 by 2.
Wow, look at that Tim Smith pushing Duvendak. You know, they might take it 3 wide here, 1 lap, less than 5 to go.
Less than 5 to go. Look at him work through turns number 3 and 4 right now. Who's going to be the odd man out? Going to come to the line, 4 laps to go. It is anybody's ball game right now. Still anybody can win this. Is it going to be Duvendak? Is it going to be Grobelny? Can Smith work his way from 15th on the restart all the way up here inside your top 3? Can he pull it out? Or is Danny Valenzuela, who now jumps to the outside, going to be able to push it 3 wide to go around the outside? He has Skyler Lewis right now behind him, but don't tell the inside lane. The inside lane has Grobelny. It looks like that's Dobbs there, and then Jamie Leach is also there. Lloyd Saunders also going to join the inside lane. That's going to put Duvendak, Smith, Valenzuela, and Lewis to the outside. So pick a name out of a hat, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have 3 laps to decide who's going to win this one. Who's it going to be?
Dobbs is looking that inside at every lap.
You can just hear the excitement over here in Tony's voice, and it's going to be 1 to finish. It's going to be 1 to watch. Who's it going to be? We're just not sure yet. We still got 3 circuits. 3 circuits around Las Vegas. This is what we all tuned in here tonight to watch. This is one heck of a show they put on. We told you from the drop of the green they put on a show, and now it's coming down to the nitty-gritty as you see Valenzuela really swerving there. They're going to go 3 wide this time in turns 3. Valenzuela to the outside. Lewis there to the middle, and Iceman Saunders going to jump down between them all. Now they're going to double file it out. They're going to work it out. Woo! That's a mouthful. Right now, that time at the line, if it would have finished, it would have been Robert Duvendak walking away with his first win here for the Salt Flat IROC Series. But that wasn't the last lap. 2 laps still to go here. Grobelny to the inside still. Duvendak to the outside. It's still the same up for your first 4 positions.
They're both pushing, both outside and inside lane. Both got good runs.
That time, if you looked as they went down into turns number 3, it looked scary. Oh, there it is. Contact. Contact between your 2 leaders. That's going to go 4 wide off turn 4. They are 4 wide, coming to 1 to go. Duvendak's in the wall. Timmy Smith is turned around. Yellow flag is going to fly. Matt Grobelny's going to come away with the win here. Jamie Leach out of nowhere going to walk away with a top 3. Jason Vol Nation Dobbs going to come home second. That's not what you wanted to see as Timmy Smith and Robert Duvendak made contact on the front stretch. We're going to have to go back. We're going to have to check it out. The yellow flag is waving, so we already know the official top 3 is going to be Grobelny, Dobbs, and Leach. But what happened between the other guys?
I almost had a heart attack right there, Roger. I got to get in better shape, man. Oh, my God.
Coming to get the white flag out of turn number 4. You saw your leaders of Duvendak and Grobelny right there make contact. That sends Duvendak up the track. And then they're going to go 4 wide, and Grobelny comes up the track once again. Oh, it looks like Duvendak got loose there on the outside, and that ended up getting into Smith. And Duvendak just cartwheel, barrel rolling, spinning like a top down the front stretch. That's not what Robert Duvendak wanted to see. That's not what Timmy Smith wanted to see as we're going to end it under yellows. We just saw some great racing there towards the end of this one. Grobelny, though, going to walk away as your winner here. Wow, Tony, what a race. What more could you ask for coming down to a finish of a race from Las Vegas other than 4 wide, and it just didn't work out.
I'm very happy I got up in the booth for this one, Roger. They went 4 wide. They saved it. They went 4 wide for a good amount of front stretch, and then, oh, Duvendak and Tim Smith got into it when they were pushing each other. Oh, man.
Wow, what a race we just saw here from the desert. Matt Grobelny, though, going to lead the most laps out here. 39 laps led for the driver of the number 4, and he's gonna take her down through the grass there and probably do a little post-race celebration for us. We're going to step away here for a moment, and we're going to be back with you with your Team McMullen post-race interviews here with your top 3. Don't go away. I'm sure you're going to want to hear what Matt Grobelny says. I know you're going to want to hear what Vol Nation says, and then we're going to get to talk to another gentleman who we have yet to talk to here with the IROC series of Jamie Leach. Welcome back to the desert here from Las Vegas. We got your 3 podium finishers here with us. We're going to bring you this post-race interview, the race-winning interview here by Team McMullen. That's your premier lender in California. It helps families all across the state get into homes of their dreams that they've been looking to buy. Anybody looking for financial help that needs a VA loan, contact Team McMullen. You can actually contact one of the drivers that were here in the race, Timmy Valenzuela. He'd be more than willing to help you find the loan that's specifically detailed to you. So we're going to get here to your post-race interviews. I have caught up with the guy who finished in your 3rd place here tonight. That's going to be the 88 of Jamie Leach. Jamie Leach, welcome to the booth, and congratulations on your first podium of the year here with the IROC Series.
Hey, Roger. Thanks a lot.
Well, Jamie, like I said, congratulations. Jamie, you and I know each other pretty well from quite a few other leagues and whatnot, and you're a really big super speedway racer. We've seen you take multiple checker flags in other leagues, and now you come out here and you're going to run an IROC series here. It's a street stock, but we're badging them as the IROCs. How can that compare to running a super speedway?
All the cars are identical, and they're just extremely close together. It's just the kind of racing that I get into. I love it. This league is great.
Yeah, it's not quite super speedway racing as we are here at Las Vegas. It is a 1.5 mile track, but with the pack driving that you see, it really reminds you like you're at Talladega or Daytona, because you see 3-4 wide racing throughout the entire race. Heck, we saw it coming out of turn 4. When they went 4 wide in front of you, what did you see?
I just saw everybody part, and I found a spot, and I just was hoping that I wasn't going to get tagged from the top to the bottom, and I ended up slipping right on through there.
Yeah, you slipped on through there. You started in your 6th position, so you didn't have a bad starting spot to start the night. We did see you involved in an early accident. How did you work your way back up through the field here to finish in that 3rd position?
Well, I tried to conserve my fuel quite a bit and figure out exactly how much I would need. Only took exactly what I would need since it takes so long to fuel these things. Other than that, I made a mistake and took some tires, and when I probably didn't need to, but just kind of got lucky and worked my way back up.
Well, you did work your way back up. You're going to come away with your 3rd place finish, and we see you have the R next to your name. What kind of drew you here to run the street stocks, the IROC series?
Well, I've always been interested in IROCs. That was the first big race I'd ever been to as a kid, and just kind of holds a special spot. And there's a couple of guys in here from other leagues that I'm in that are great guys, and I figured I'd give it a shot.
Well, we're glad to see you out here racing. Like I said, I'm familiar with you, so I know your driving style, and your driving style is going to fit in just nicely, as you did bring it home 3rd place. Well, Jamie, congratulations, 3rd place. Who helps you week in and week out, though, getting that 88 machine to the track? I mean, who helps you turn laps and just figure out how to run these things?
Well, I do a lot of YouTube.
Well, that's good, because you can find us after the race. You can just go head on over to YouTube, type in MaxSpeedTV.com, and then search Salt Flat Racing IROC. So you can just watch this back, and maybe you can figure something out. I don't know what you really have to figure out because you're coming home 3rd, but who do you got to thank for helping you out?
I'd just like to thank all the guys in this league. I've learned a lot from everyone, even you, Roger. So it's just helped out quite a bit.
Well, I don't know if I can take any credit for anything other than sitting up here talking. But once again, congratulations, Jamie, and hopefully we'll see you next week out there on track.
Most definitely. Thanks a lot.
Great.
Well, Tony, that was your 3rd place finisher, Jamie Leach. I think you caught up with the guy who possibly is going to come home here in the 2nd place.
Yeah, let's bring it down to Jason Dobbs, who finished 2nd here in the Salt Flat Racing IROC Series at Las Vegas. Jason, you got a copy?
Absolutely.
Jason, hey, congrats. You guys took it 4 wide there at the end. What was going through your mind?
Patience, really. I'm a huge Kyle Busch fan after I was out there, but I was trying to be patient and stay behind Matt and just wait and hope that the hole would open up so I could get there and come home first loser. I'm excited. This is awesome.
Yeah, 2nd place is definitely nothing to shake a stick at, for sure. And we spoke with you earlier, and you told us patience, patience, patience. And it looks like it really did pay off for you here.
Yeah, I was just trying to stay out of the way and stay behind Matt and just hope for the best. And hey, it worked out well, so I'll take it and go on next week.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to next week. Any strategies for the next race?
Same thing. I qualified way back in the back. I'm just gonna try to ride it out first 20 and so just fill it and then go from there.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, without a doubt. Yeah, it was a lot of fun watching you guys race tonight. I can't wait to strap back in the car myself and get involved in the other leagues I'm in. But have to hand it to you. You ran a very clean race, kept a very clean car, and that's so important when it comes to these bigger tracks where aerodynamics is so important as well. Anything you want to say to any of the fans, any of your sponsors, any call-outs you want to say?
Oh, absolutely. I want to get a big shout-out to my buddy Justin Paragon. He watches me every time I race. And also the Vols I absolutely love. And a nice cold Bush that I've been drinking the whole time. So, just living the dream, doing iRacing.
So yeah, iRacing is great. That's the one nice thing about iRacing is you can enjoy a nice frosty beverage as you turn some laps for sure. All right, well, hey Roger, I'll send it back to you. I think you caught up with our winner here.
Yeah, absolutely. I have caught up with our winner here, the number 4, Matt Grobelny, going to put it here in the Team McMullen victory lane from Las Vegas. He led out there tonight, 39 laps. Matt, tell us how you put the number 4 out there and just pretty much parked her at the front of this.
I wouldn't be in the front there without strategy, help from my teammate, Danny Valenzuela, finished right outside of the top 5. Other than that, Jason, for the pushing, I wouldn't be there without him, and just glad I was able to hold off that outside line.
Yeah, that outside line at the end of this really looked strong. I mean, were you worried with, you saw Jason Dobbs there at the end, kind of came to your rescue to the inside when Robert Duvendak kind of threw her to the outside on you. Were you worried when you saw Dobbs get behind you? Because I know you're not very familiar with Jason and his driving style.
Not really, no. I knew right away that Duvendak was going to shoot it to the outside, just knowing that kind of driver he is. He was looking for the win. He didn't want to stay behind me for too long. But me and Jason, we ran enough practice together and just running in general. I know he's a good driver, so I wasn't too worried about it.
Yeah, you weren't worried at that time, but what were you thinking when you heard 3 wide, 3 to the outside?
Oh, once I got tapped and I knew they were all sending it, I was getting nervous. I thought I was turning sideways, but luckily I was able to hold it straight, and everyone else, it almost looked like we were going to keep it straight, and then I saw Tim start turning, and then it just went down from there.
Yeah, it went down from there. Do you think, though, if we would have went green flag racing for one more lap, you would have been able to hold off the Chargers on the outside?
If they didn't wreck or we didn't have that bump, it was going to be close, just with Tim and Duvendak and then my teammate Danny behind them, all pushing each other, knowing that they are going to push each other. Would have been close coming to the line, but my just thought was I had the white line to go below and cut off that corner of the track that they would have had to try and follow me with, or hopefully not be able to keep up with me.
Yeah, so you're going to walk out of Las Vegas here with a win after missing last week. And refresh my memory here quick. Didn't you come away with the win here in the practice race?
Yes, I did. It came down to the very last, the very end there. I beat you out by an inch, I think, but I got the win in practice.
I let you have it. But, I mean, you're going to come away with the weekend sweep here from Las Vegas. So my question to you now is, are you going to go over to the casino and gamble?
Oh, without a doubt.
Well, I didn't expect any other answer from the New Jersey boy who heads down to Atlantic City. I mean, what were you really expecting to come out of that one? But, hey, congratulations, Matt. You're going to walk away with the win here from Las Vegas. Once again, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is your first win here in the Salt Flat Series, and especially here with the IROC Series, being that you weren't here last week.
Oh, yeah. Last year we had a few close calls there to winning, especially that last race at Chicagoland. But, yep, this is the first win. Finally bring home a trophy here.
Yeah, you're going to be able to pop your cherry here from Las Vegas. You're going to be able to go roll the dice and gamble a little bit after this one. But once again, congratulations on your win. Who do you got to thank? Who helps you out on that number 4 machine?
I got to thank the teammate, Danny Valenzuela, the guys over at Salt Flat Racing, you guys up in the booth and Max Speed, the sponsors, Next Level Racing, Little V Books, and then wouldn't be here without Lloyd with the graphics over at Northern Graphics.
Absolutely. Well, once again, congratulations. You're going to be your winner here. And that was your post-race interview there with the Team McMullen Victory Lane, the win going to the number 4 of Macro Belny. Well, Tony, I know you're new to this. Hopefully you're still in the sim and we can work our way through your unofficial results here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Macro Belny going to be your winner here with Jason Volnation Dobbs coming in your second place. Jamie Leach, the quiet man himself, made a name for himself here tonight. Quiet no longer. He's going to be the force to reckon with. Danny Valenzuela, the better looking of the Valenzuela. I guess the wily veteran going to get the better of his brother. He's going to come home in 4th. Tim Smith, after taking it 4 wide there on the exit of turn 4, coming to get the white flag. He's going to hold on, though, for a top 5, so he'll retain his points lead leaving Las Vegas. Coming home in your 6th place, though, there goes another Valenzuela. I guess, a little short on the stick. He'll come home in your 6th place. Hunter Conley going to come home 7th. Then it looks like Skylar Lewis going to come home 8th. Cole Day is going to come home in your 9th position. And Donald Bennett going to round out your top 10.
Yeah, coming in 11th, you got Josiah Millen. Then finishing in 12th, you have Colton Farrow. Then coming in 18th, you got Ed Hewitt. 14th place, you have Dwayne Laprade. Then coming in the 15th place, you have William Crossland. 16th, finishing at Jace Steffi. 17th, Troy Len, who had a pretty good run going, but had to fall to the back. 18th, my man, Cody Levitt. 19th, Lloyd Iceman Sonder. And then finishing, running out the top 20, Doug Ungari.
Coming home in your 21st position, the number 2 of Jared Hagerdorn. Coming home 24th here today, Orlando, the rookie Rivera in the 54. The 91 of Willing Evernham going to come home 22nd. Sorry, you see the timing and scoring a little jumbled at the top of the screen, but we'll work through this. We are at your 23rd position, going to go to the number 12 of Robert Duvendak. Your 24th place going to go to Jeff Bergner, or sorry, that's Chris Brown. It's a little jumbled here on our end, so we apologize for that, but we're letting him scroll through the top here because timing and scoring now a little bit jumbled up. But Tony, thanks for joining us up in the booth here. What was your takeaway here from Las Vegas?
Clean, hard racing. I mean, it was exciting. I had a blast myself, right? And I'm betting all the fans did too. I had a really good time watching Robert Loud Pedal Duvendak just be very aggressive but very clean, and he really was the one that caused that to go 4 wide, but in a way that was very competitive and very fun to watch.
Yeah, so you saw 4 wide racing here from Las Vegas. It almost reminded you of last week's finish when they went 5 wide from Daytona. These boys here in the IROC series for Salt Flat Racing, they're not afraid to hang them out. We saw them all sorts of sideways, 2, 3, 4 wide, even sideways 3 wide with a guy in the middle completely sideways. We saw a couple guys go airborne here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Well, that's going to about do it here from Las Vegas. You're going to have to tune in next week. We head to the Northern Graphics 75 from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. That's going to happen next week right here on MaxSpeedTV. You're also going to be able to catch that over there on the iRacing.com page every week, same time on a Wednesday. Well, for everybody at the Salt Flat Racing League, from everybody at iRacing, and everybody here from MaxSpeedTV, I'm Roger Muth. That's Tony Quadros. Thanks for tuning in.